Warning.
This show contains mature content. Listener discretion is advised.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
One angry New York City Puerto Rican decided to start a radio show. Determined to piss the world off by shoving a mirror in front of society's face, he kicked them in the balls.
What are you? Who are you?
This is the Crotch Shot Radio Show. Crotch Shot Radio Show.
This is not a test. This is a broadcast transmission.
We're going to stay on the air.
And now, Louie B.
Welcome to the Crotch Shot Radio Show, where we kick the issues in the balls. We are on an active war against bullshit. We would do anything to expose bullshit. The ends sometimes justify the means. So if you're angry and want the truth exposed, strap in and prepare to be shocked. This is Smash Mouth Talk. If you can't accept that, then fuck off. I'm your host, Louie B. I takes no bullshit from nobody. I actually expose the bullshit society and chop it up into easy to digest chunks for you. Today won't be any different. Today I will be interviewing a person that defected from Antifa. But first I'm going to play this quick song and I am going to get her on. This is Martin Luther King Speaks.
Let us rise with a greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination. And let us move on in these powerful days. These days of challenge to make America what it ought to be. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now. Because I've been to the mountaintop, and I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. I'm not worried about anything, I'm not fearing anything. Our eyes have seen the glory of the Lord. 1960, students all over the South started sitting in at lunch hours. And I knew that as they were sitting in, they were really standing up for the best in the American dream, and taking the whole nation back to those great wells of democracy, which were dug deep by the founding fathers in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop, and I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know that we as a people will get to the promised land. I'm not worried about anything, I'm not fearing anything. Our eyes have seen the glory of the Lord. 1962, the Negroes in Albany, Georgia, decided to straighten their backs up. And whenever men and women straighten their backs up, they are going somewhere, because a man can't ride your back and listen to this. 1963, black people in Birmingham, Alabama, aroused the conscience of this nation and brought into being the Civil Rights Bill. Later that year in August, I would try to tell America about a dream that I had. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop, and I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. But I want you to know tonight that we as a people But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop, and I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Yep, that of course was a mixed version, an auto-tune version of a Martin Luther King speech. The song's called Martin Luther King Speaks. It was actually made by Shmoyoho, the I forgot the name of the group, but Shmoyoho. They do auto-tune the news. I don't know why they took it off their thing, but someone re-uploaded it, and I just decided to rip the MP3. But yeah. But anyways, I'd like to introduce my next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to a young lady from Portland. She bravely defected from Antifa, and now she's here to talk to you about her experience. I give you Alyssa Bang.
I'm happy to be here.
How you doing, sweetheart? Long time no talk to.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm doing great, Louie. How about you?
I can't complain, Had a day off, just chilling out after, busting my ass at work. Which is why
That's always good.
Which is why I don't do Patreon like other podcasts, because I actually got a fucking job.
That's awesome.
So let's say we just jump right to it.
Okay.
Like I said in your intro, you defected from Antifa recently. And
that I did.
Yeah, I mean, we started discussing this last week when you were on with Edie Dixon. So we're kind of going to be rehashing some of the stuff that we covered last week, just so that way people could, if they listen to that show, they might miss some stuff, and just wanted to focus mostly on your experience. First, how did you find out about Antifa?
Well, how I got started with it was that it seemed like everybody I knew in the Portland area, at least all my left-wing friends, which was pretty much all of them, and as a trans woman, all my friends were left-wing at the time. They always shared posts and talked about punching Nazis and just how it was the right thing to do and all that, and I went all in with it. I was like, oh, that's the cool thing. I hadn't really felt like I had a place to belong since I got out of the Army, so I thought it was going to be a good place.
So you were in the Army. So first of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Did you see any action, if you mind me asking?
No, I ended up staying stateside, unfortunately, due to while other soldiers deployed. So it sucks, but it is what it is.
All right. So what made you okay, you found out that way through posts. What made you just want to join?
Well, I wasn't really sure what to expect, so I honestly, what made me want to join was just that everybody I knew seemed to be acting like it was the right thing to do. I literally thought there were Nazis in the street, so I went out and I got involved. I asked my friends who were involved in it how I could get involved, and then they directed me to some people, and then they directed me to some people, and yeah, it was a whole process.
Is there do they have a vetting process?
They do. It doesn't seem it's very strict though.
Well,
it's very relaxed.
What did you have to go through?
Interviews, waiting times, that kind of thing.
Did you have to have 3 references from and any? Did you have to have experience from any other sort of anarchist groups?
No, I don't believe so. It was in order to. Well, it depends. There's the mob, and then there's the specific Antifa groups itself. Yeah, the mob, you just show up. Anybody shows up and everybody participates. And then there's the more strict or the actual groups. Like, what do you guys have in New York? It's New York Antifa or something?
Yeah, we got, I guess, yeah, it's New York Antifa, but we just call them pussies.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they follow the same thing as the Portland areas. But, yeah, it's just an interview with, yeah, you have to wait a certain amount of time, and then you're basically in. You talk to some other people who might be able to get you in quicker, and that's pretty much it.
Huh. Alrighty. So once you're in, what was your perception of who Antifa is?
My idea was, well, it's complicated. It started off with the idea of, up in the Northwest, there's this whole idea called Cascadia. And this is at least how I saw Antifa when I was in it. I thought it was going to be one thing, but it ended up being a completely different thing. There's this idea of this whole, the Northwest and parts of Canada breaking off in this country called Cascadia or something over here, but a lot of the left seems to believe in that over here. It seems like Antifa's end game, I believe, was that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what a lot of Antifa members I know talked about. The idea was that this was going to basically be cause a social movement in order to end Nazis, if that makes any sense.
So basically, succeed from from both Canada and America, and that would fight Nazis. How?
Yeah, a lot of people are going to say, no, that's not what it's about. But from what I've heard and from what I've experienced talking to these people, I think that is what it is.
That just sounds. I mean, look, that just sounds crazy to me. That I mean, but I've heard something similar. Basically, taking back all like the so-called Mexican land and forming the country of Atalan.
Exactly, it's the same mindset, but for up here in the Northwest.
Huh.
Yeah. There's their own little movement among the leftists up here. It's basically they all want that, is what it seems like. Basically, almost every leftist I know has talked about how awesome Cascadia would be. Antifa is also far more organized than I ever thought they were going in. Oh my God!
Really? What? What do you mean by organized? How were they really organized?
They have separate branches and separate jobs. It's not just everybody shows up in black and attacks people. They actually have comms. They have logistics. They have transportation. They have everything. There's even leadership. I don't know exactly who the leadership is, but there's leadership ordering out on the shit.
How is this funded?
I don't know on that one. I seriously, I don't know. It seemed like it was a mutual support thing, is what I think people were getting at, but I never saw anybody donate anything, so I don't know.
So you don't think that they have any, like, would you suspect that they have like any like corporate backing from perhaps the Ford Foundation?
Businesses in the Portland area?
Well, yeah.
That I will.
Really? What? Really?
That I will agree. Yes.
What businesses?
It seems like there are businesses in the Portland area that support their actions.
Like what? How would you? Can you name names of these businesses?
I can name one.
What?
I'm very sure about is Powell's Books. I'm very certain about that one.
Oh, so basically liberal bookstores.
Yeah. Liberal bars, liberal bookstores, those kind of things.
Well, not so much
within what's that?
So, well, not so much liberal, but more like social justice warrior bookstores, like
hangout spots.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, that's actually some good information, because we have plenty of those here in New York. Like
the one places that you guys probably wouldn't usually go to, that's probably where they're at.
Yeah. I got like one in my neighborhood called Blue Stockings or something like that. And they have like they'll have like what'd you call that? When you're like attracted to every single solitary gender, it's just based on
pansexual.
Pansexual type poetry slam things.
That also, yeah, I will say that seems to be a common hangout spot, is those kind of events, revolutionary events, democratic socialist events, those kind of things. Those definitely, I've seen some of the regular Antifa faces that I also saw at the counter protest downtown.
Well, I mean,
at a lot of those events.
Do you think that they have any backing from like the Ford Foundation or the Southern Poverty Law? How come I can't say that word? Southern Poverty Law Center.
I will say that I do believe that the media seems to support Antifa. I was down there when, even during the last protest or counter protest in November, the Him Too one. That ended up being the media had covered it completely different than what actually happened. It was strange.
Well, how so?
It seems like the media likes to portray the right wing, well, no matter what it is, no matter who it is. It could be Nazis. From my experience, from what I've seen, these aren't Nazis. These are just right wing people. But the media likes to portray them as white supremacists, and then they portray Antifa as just anti-fascists going out there and doing the right thing. It's really strange. They seem to completely turn a blind eye to Antifa's assaults and actions. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it.
So at the time you joined Antifa, what were your political beliefs?
I was a Maoist.
What is a Maoist? Or what's your definition?
Maoist is a branch of communism that believes in basically liberation of the third world, if that makes any sense.
How
I grew up on a Native American reservation that was completely ass-backwards developed compared to the rest of, say, when I moved to Portland. Portland was an amazing-looking city. I saw, basically the way the reservation comes off that I grew up on was, it felt very much third world. And that's what sort of, I guess, influenced my own personal opinion in regards to Maoism. There's the idea that a revolution will happen, I guess, at some point.
Okay.
And that we need to be the what is it, the actor, the reason for that revolution, if that makes any sense.
What would have been the end game? Like what was
the end game is revolution in order to make a complete left wing society free of where everybody's equal and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That is the end game. A lot, and I mean a lot, of the Antifa I've met with share the exact same view. Basically, this all ends with revolution. Whether that's bloodless or with blood, I don't think it'll matter to them after a certain point.
Right. So why? So you since you grew up in a Native American type society, what really attracted you to Maoism?
To me, it was the idea of, again, I was sickened that my reservation that I grew up on was not as developed as, say, Portland. And I guess the end game for me would be that it would be. Anywhere that is backwards and poverty-stricken should be developed to a certain point. Right. That's the idea, and that's what drew me to it. I also was looking for a not American way to solve it, because at the time I wasn't sure about the American system. It kind of scared me a little bit, more or less because everybody else I knew was shaming me for thinking it was a good system. But
yeah, I mean, I could see your point, because I mean, there's certain reservations that don't even have running water.
Exactly. I grew up on one such reservation. We had to boil our water, and it was just, holy shit, dude.
Like, I mean, I saw this one documentary on YouTube where there was this lady that would come in the water truck like once a month and just give people like only a few gallons of water, and that had to last them until next month. Like, how do you shower?
Yeah,
how do you bathe? You know,
that's awful. Yeah.
I mean, and this is America. I mean, it's like, look, I kind of also understand, hey, you want to keep the natural beauty of the surroundings, and, you know, I'm assuming, you know, like, of course, like the Taino Indians of Puerto Rico and, you know, most of the Caribbean, it's, you know, you worship nature, so you want to keep the beauty, but Also, I mean, there's a way to do it and still have running water and electricity and whatnot.
Yeah.
And still respect the land.
Yeah, it's true. And a lot of why I also saw it that way was that the tribal government growing up, the tribal council, they were very much. It seems like they don't have any plans to develop the reservation I grew up on. And at the time, I saw that as, back in 2016 anyways, I saw that as corruption.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was just a flaw within this current system, which inevitably led me to looking into communism.
So let's go into why you left.
Why I left where? Which one?
Why? Okay. Well, why did you leave Antifa?
Oh, okay. Well, the reason why I left Antifa was I went down that day to fight Nazis, but I ended up talking to them, and I realized these protesters weren't Nazis. These were the peaceful protesters, and the people I went down with assaulted and maced them just for protesting the mayor. It was insanity. I could not believe that we were doing that. And we spent hours chanting and antagonizing them, calling them the most horrible transphobic or racist or homophobic things I have ever heard. And I was just like, holy shit, we're the good guys? Are you serious?
What were they saying specifically? This is uncensored, so, just for the sake of education, what did the supposed anti-racist, anti-fascist, intersectional alien, Martians say?
Well, where should I start on that one? Okay.
You could go alphabetical order. Don't worry. If anybody says shit, I'll be like, look, I asked her. It's my fault.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, so that day, specifically, it was the transphobia that was getting me that day. I've also heard back in November at the big Him Too march, Andy Ngo was walking around, a reporter down there. He's a conservative. And people were yelling. I was standing there right at the front when it happened. They were yelling the most fucked up things I have ever heard said to an Asian anyways, to an Asian American, to Andy Ngo. It was awful. They were calling him a traitor to his race. They said his grandfather would be ashamed of him, and that he was supporting white supremacy. And it was just absolutely just for walking around recording them.
Oh, I've gotten that. I've gotten that from white people, and I'm like, you're lucky you're hiding behind a screen. You're calling me a race traitor as someone with the last name, with the whitest last name. Like, and then you block me. And then
it's the hypocrisy. It really is.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're a white supremacist. You're internalizing white supremacy. You're a race traitor. Okay, so do you know what the Puerto Rican culture is? I mean,
I know it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you know what my culture is? Do you know where I come from? Do you know how I was raised? Do you know how am I? First of all, in order to be a good Puerto Rican, you play baseball, you dance salsa, you know how to cook, and you speak Spanish. I'm doing pretty okay.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And what else was it? Yeah, okay. And then that day that I specifically met Edie Dixon and the PDX crew down there, that day specifically what it was they were, they called Haley a meth Barbie. They called Haley a Barbie. That was absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know why we went there.
I mean, I don't know.
But it was that.
I don't know Haley, I don't know Haley, but that's a pretty funny line.
I know, right?
Yeah, I was like,
she laughed it off. But they were being dead serious. They're trying to hurt her feelings.
Yeah, meth Barbie.
And then it was that interaction though on that clip with Edie and me and that other Antifa member. That was my final straw almost. Leading up to that, I was asked by the other Antifa members what my name was. I said, Alyssa. They were saying, no, what's your dude name?
Oh.
I was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, you had the fucking nerve to ask me that? What?
I mean,
I was like, she, her. And they kept calling me he, him. None of these people had known me beyond that, these specific people. And it was just like, oh my God.
Are you sure they
I knew one of them before that.
Are you sure they weren't just doing that to try to dox you?
No, it ended up turning into that ended up turning into a whole other thing, hilariously enough.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'll explain that later.
All right.
They, though, we ended up talking to Edie. That douchebag next to me was like, hey, so, what was it? What did he say? He's like, you're not really, or you're faking being transgender, is what he said. And I was like, the fuck did you just say? Like, in my head, I was like, dude, wait, hold on. It took me a second to process it. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then the next day, and then he started yelling transphobic things at Edie from across the street. I couldn't remember what he said, but it made me feel sick inside. Like, honestly.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, it's just, They make these rules up on what's transphobic, what's racist and whatnot. Yet they break their own rules when
they break their own rules, and it's only okay when they break their own rules.
Why do you think that is?
Hypocrisy. It seriously, I see it as nothing else than hypocrisy at this point. Yeah. They blame the right for causing violence by showing up and protesting. So they're okay to show up and punch you, and that's not violent. They see that as a reaction, and it's fucking ridiculous. I think it's the best way to put it is that they think they're dishing out justice, if that makes any sense. This is justice. By going out and punching a Nazi, in quotes, they seem to think that's justice.
But they determine who the Nazi is.
Exactly. The Nazi is literally, I seriously think at this point, it's anybody who disagrees with your idea of a perfect world. A communist world, if you will.
Do any of these people have real jobs? I mean, what do most of these people do for a living?
Honestly, I talked to most of them, and I kept getting homeless as an answer.
So
unemployed, that kind of thing.
So basically,
even I'm unemployed and homeless, so it's whatever. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So I mean, do you mind me? Where are you at now?
I'm making it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give out my specific location because the Antifa's gonna hunt me like a horse. But
hunt you like a horse?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was stupid. I meant I was. Antifa's pissed. That's what I should have said.
They're gonna hunt me like a. I'm gonna make that a T-shirt.
Sorry.
That's, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag when you tweet this thing out. Hashtag hunt me like a horse.
I didn't know what to say. Oh my god, that's awesome.
In fact, I'm putting it in the description right now.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Just all right. Hashtag hunt. That's gonna be. I'm gonna be using that now.
Go for it.
And saved. Now it's
awesome.
We got that in the description.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, from my interactions with the other Antifa members, it seems like all of them either had small part-time jobs and that they were getting money from the state, or that they were unemployed and donations or mutual funds.
Oh, okay. Where
people putting into a pool.
Were anyone getting like paid by like George Soros? Have you heard anybody with connections to George Soros or the oh god, what's the name of that nonprofit he runs? But yeah, did you hear anybody with that? Because that's a common thing. Oh, you're funded by George Soros.
Honestly, I never did. Like, I'm being honest. I seriously don't even know who the people in charge were that were dishing out the orders for this stuff. It's ridiculous.
Really?
It's very organized and yet disorganized at the same time.
All right.
It's Pop Mob.
Okay. I'm gonna read you a list of projects.
Okay.
I want you to see if you've heard that in No. Okay, that's not it. Okay, Human Rights Watch.
Human Rights Watch. I've heard that discussed, but I don't know or specifically about that one.
The Ford Foundation.
No.
Let me see. Okay, that's not it.
Specifically, I do have a few group names that I do know are all tied into all this, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Actually, that was one of my questions. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, one of those is Pop Mob, or Popular Mobilization. They are the ones who seem to put together the big protests that, the mob that you show up are organized through Pop.
Okay.
Which they go through Facebook, and basically people invite their friends, or they'll invite people to show up, and that's how they organize, like maybe a month in advance.
So popular mobilization.
Uh-huh. There's Portland's Resistance. They mostly have to do with, what does Portland Resistance do? They're basically like Rose City Antifa. That's another one. Rose City Antifa is the direct action people you see, like the real black bloc, if that makes any sense.
Uh-huh. So you had to deal with black. Well, you've and were there like any specific groups that were used in the actual violence against like Trump supporters and whatnot?
I have a political party that I do know is definitely associated with all this.
Who?
The Democratic Socialists of America.
Really?
Really, yes. Dead serious, yes.
Do you think that that's their leadership?
Absolute certainty, yes.
That's their leadership, and that's possibly where they're getting their funding?
I believe so. The DSA has exploded from being one of the smaller political parties in the country to, after Trump's election, after the last couple of years, to exploding to a membership of, what is it, like 60,000 or something now?
Are they mostly Bernie bros?
I believe they're the disenfranchised Bernie supporters after the fallout with the DNC. They don't seem to believe in the Democrats anymore. They seem to believe in the DSA now, and it seems Antifa and the DSA are tied together. At least in the Portland area, for sure.
So after your falling out with Antifa, what was did you change in your personal political beliefs?
I've started to, actually, yeah. Before I went to Maoism, I was a conservative. I was, until I was shamed out of it.
For what?
What's that?
For what? Why were you shamed out?
Well, I served, and I grew up in a relatively conservative family. Christian morals, all that stuff. But in 2016, that's when I stopped going to church, because I was told, hey, religion's, you shouldn't try and, back in 2016. One of my friends was like, hey, yeah, you shouldn't support a religion that spreads genocide, I guess, if that makes sense, or has been genocidal in history. I was like, oh, shit, okay, I better not fucking do that anymore. And then I was like, hey, I'm a veteran. I was told, hey, you shouldn't try and talk about being a veteran so much, trying to shame me out of talking about it at all, and just acted like it was another job. And I was like, okay. And then, I wanted to vote for Trump. I did, originally, when it was Clinton and Trump. But I was told by multiple people I know, if you vote for Trump, we're not friends anymore. And I was like, oh, shit, everybody I know seems to be terrified of Trump. I guess I'll vote for Hillary. That was a dumb decision, but because it ended up not being worth anything anyways.
Yeah. So are there any beliefs that you would like to renounce?
I honestly renounce my revolutionary views. I'm sick of it. I'm sick, and also my views of. I honestly feel like that trying to correct everybody, I guess, be politically correct. I feel wrong about it now. After I've stopped and thought about it, I feel wrong. And it's hard to explain, but I have freaked out on even family members for misgendering me on accident, and it's not a happy way to live. Everybody's pissed off. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, speaking on that, I mean, we'll go back to the Antifa, but it does get kind of hard because, I mean, it is kind of, it is still kind of fairly new.
Mm-hmm.
The whole transgenderism thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's certain things that, it's going to take a while for people to, not so much accept, but get used to. And there's still going to be people that are going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times that I'm standing behind a lesbian and I can't tell it's a woman from her back. I just see short hair and masculine,
very butch looking.
Yeah. And then and I say, "Excuse me, sir." And not being disrespectful. In fact, trying to be respectful, not trying to be And they turn around. I'm like, "Oh shit, my bad." Like, what are your thoughts on when they say when you misgender someone that's violence?
I know. I know. It's honest mistakes happen, and it seems like a lot of people really can't grasp that. Even I couldn't for a while. Mm-hmm. But Edie actually kind of opened my mind to that. It's strange, but yeah, I honestly did not think you could even be transgender and conservative. I literally did not think that was a possibility.
Well, I mean, there's also being a libertarian where because I'm a libertarian, I don't consider myself a conservative because I like pussy.
Sorry,
so
I mean
much.
the right wing in general. Yeah. I guess I should have said.
No.
It's
there's
hard
There's no reason to apologize. Because, like I consider myself a libertarian. I don't care whether you're gay, straight, trans, you want to identify as this, that, or the other thing. Just don't make me pay for it. That's it. Yeah. Don't make me pay for it, and don't punch me in the face when I make a mistake because I am, this is, again, it's fairly new.
Yeah, I understand. It's a brand new issue for a lot of people that a lot of people still do not understand. And I don't think they ever will.
Yeah, I mean, even me, it's still kind of hard to understand because, I was born a male. I identify as a male. I grew, as I was growing up, I can't wait to get a beard. I can't wait to grow a beard. I can't wait to grow a beard. And then I started sprouting my first mustache. Well, my mustache, I always had a mustache, but it started coming in thicker. It's like, hey, I started growing hair on my chest, muzzle tough. You are now a man. The whole male rite of passage, it was exciting to me. So to have that, what you call that, that inner turmoil that we were talking about last year. I mean, last week, last year. Actually, technically, last year. Happy New Year, by the way. But
Happy New Year.
So, I mean, it's still kind of confusing because it's like, how can you be so uncomfortable with your body that you want to cut something off or want to install something in you and stuff like that. But look, it's just like, look, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, I mean, it's mazel tov, you know what I mean? It's like, live, have fun. As long like you're not hurting anyone else, you're not trying to indoctrinate children, because I do believe that they should be able to grow up and decide for themselves. Mm-hmm. That's it. I mean, it's not like my parents had to teach me, hey, you only date women, you only kiss women. I had a crush on my kindergarten teacher. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand.
Exactly. You are who you are, and that is just a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah. But anyways,
for me, it's a little different for me, I guess. I grew up and went through all the rites of passage, too, as a man. And, I served, too, and I did everything I could to try and prove that I was the manliest man. I did more push-ups than anybody else if I could. I ran faster than anybody else if I could. I worked what I thought was harder than anybody else I could. And but it always felt uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. It just...
Okay, we got a comment from Mr. DJT, which stands for Donald John John was it James Trump? I forget. But he goes boo. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for your insightful and kind comment in the chat room.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Grazie, senor.
But I don't know. That's just how it always felt for me. I tried to be something that I ended up not being, and I eventually figured out who I was, but it took a long time.
Well,
I guess finally accept that.
Are you happy?
I'd say I'm happier now than I was before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a weird life now, but I guess I'm happy now.
If it ain't weird, it ain't fun.
True that.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Antifa. Once you were in it, did you notice what training did they give you?
Dude, pretty much nothing. You just show up and you do it.
Really?
You either know how to do it or you don't.
Did they give you any, battle training, fight training and stuff like that?
Not me, but there are teams within RCA that go and to all the counter-protests. There are actual teams that train and do that shit.
And who
for direct action.
Who are in these teams?
Black Bloc, that's as far as I know. They're the best of the best, I guess that makes any sense. They're the people who the organizations have let in to be the direct action.
So are these former military or whatnot?
I'd say some of them are, yeah. Yeah. It's really organized. Even when we were moving, there's the mob going through, and then there's these teams organizing on the side before they engage.
What did you notice them doing? What maneuvers were they pulling?
They were moving in teams. They were moving in what seemed to be formation. Yeah, and they seemed to be moving as a unit rather than separately where other people would just run where they want to run to brawl, I guess, if that makes any sense, during the protest.
But how did they move? I mean, let's say they were how did they approach let's say the Proud Boys or Patriot Prayer? In what formation would they move?
They just charge, just outright. They just charge.
Oh,
they'd all organize. They'd follow the mob usually, and it seemed, but from what I noticed, they seem to be forming on the wings of the mob.
Oh, are they the ones that would throw the firecrackers and the bottles of urine?
Yep, that's them.
So those are the Black Bloc are the ones that would have the weapons and whatnot.
Yeah, if there were any carrying weapons, it's usually them. Most of the other people are just protesters who want to get a punch or two on.
So Eric Clanton, the bike lock guy, was he Black Bloc?
He was in Black Bloc. I don't know very much about him specifically because Antifa is a little bit disorganized on that one. Different cities have different groups. But they all share the same ideology. So they all unofficially work together, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So what did they when they were briefing you on let's say the Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer, what would they say to get you to hate them?
That they're transphobic, racist, homophobic Nazis who are literally marching through the streets to spread fascism in order to have in order to basically make the president, better or some bullshit like that. That's basically it. It's the same, but everybody's repeating it. They also told me, for instance, at the Him 2 rally, I keep bringing that up in November,
right.
But at the Him 2 rally, they told us, this is a lie, by the way, I found out, that Him 2 represented that that represented that all the right-wing protesters who were over there, we were told, at least what I was told for sure, is that they were saying that all sexual assault survivors are liars. That's what I was told that they were saying.
Right.
That's what they had a big speech beforehand to get everybody riled up too, saying that the right-wing people over there, the Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer, were liars and evil and all this shit. And yeah, and it got me riled up. I know that. It got everybody else around me riled up.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah, that's the kind of stuff they would say though. Is that basically these are Nazis? They go around beating people up for no reason, and that we got to stop them by punching them.
Right. I mean, what were your thoughts when, I don't know if you saw this, but when that one Antifa guy tried to hit a Proud Boy with a metal baton and that Proud Boy knocked him on his ass?
That was in Portland, right? That was back in July, I think.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I'll say what I think, that Antifa got what he deserved, dude. He's attacking a peaceful protester marching through the street.
Yeah. But
yeah, I'm just glad that guy wasn't hurt, that Proud Boy. Oh my gosh, that's fucked. At the time, I was like, that's super cool. That's awesome that, Antifa is trying to hurt them. I can't believe that Proud Boy punched him. But now I'm looking at it, I'm just like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck were we doing?
Do you have like guilt?
I have some guilt over this. Yeah, I feel really bad for the things I did. I've thrown shit at them. Like I've yelled at them, and I said horrible things about them, and I think it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously, I thought we were fighting Nazis until December 19th when I went down there, and I just talked to Edie, and I was like, oh my god, this is what we've been fighting this whole time? I couldn't believe it. I felt lied to.
So do you want revenge on Antifa?
I would say to a certain degree, yes, because so many of my friends that I've known for years have been brainwashed by this ideology and by these groups, even in the Portland area. It's friends I've known for years. I said yesterday that I thought on Facebook publicly that I thought Antifa were liars, and I felt lied to. And I was told by 15 people I've known for years that, hey, yeah, we can't be friends anymore. You're wrong. And I was like, okay. All I said was these are not Nazis. And yeah.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the fate of people who are on the right. I've had family delete and block me from Facebook, and then call my mother to tell on me.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that sounds like the kind of pathetic thing they do, to be honest.
Like, I'm 35. What's my mom gonna do? Beat me? I live on my own.
Yeah,
like
I know that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, but yeah, I do want revenge to a certain degree. I think because this needs to stop. Now that I've stopped and thought about it, and I'm just like, okay, I thought it was the right that was out of control, but it's really the far left. Not even the left, it's the far left that's out of control. It really is. And it needs to be stopped, and I don't know any other way. If I just sit out, then I don't think it'll solve anything. I've had people also since that post yesterday tell me, hey, no, you should just sit this thing out, stop getting involved with both extremes. But I'm just like, hey, dude, I don't know any other way to help these people because this is fucked up what they want to do to these right-wing protesters.
Well, I mean, if you're not ready to get, really involved, because, I mean, look, at this point in your situation, I would focus on, on yourself for now.
Yeah.
And,
of course.
If you want to, here and there go and help out, fine. But, really... make yourself great again.
Yeah.
I mean that same effort that you put in to prove yourself in the military as a man, prove yourself as the best Alyssa you can be for now.
Yeah.
I mean the best one, I mean, of course there's that old saying, the best revenge is living a good life.
Yeah.
These people are sad. These people are sad. They're expecting some external force to come save them. When, I mean, that whole pull yourself by your bootstraps, it doesn't mean you're doing it entirely by yourself. It's you're keeping your eyes open, you're keeping your head on a swivel to look for opportunities to help you step up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
Absolutely.
that's what I'm doing. You know, you just, you know, you're gonna get help. You're gonna need help. I mean, there's no fault in getting help. The problem when it comes to like things like welfare is that it doesn't lead to, you know, you finally getting off it and being self-sufficient. You just end up like staying on it and you know, relying on it forever, and that's not what it was meant for.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, and the government like all this free stuff that people like Antifa and the far left want, and the democratic socialists, they don't understand the slippery slope that is, that they're going to fuck themselves out of their own liberty in order to get a few dollars, you know, like for free money out of somebody.
It's true. Look at what's happened to China since their revolution. That was going for basically the same goals.
Yeah. I mean, now like all that government control, you can't, like there's this YouTuber who I think is really pretty. Her name is something Wu. I forgot. She goes by Sexy Cyborg. She you know, she's fighting to get more women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and you know, she has to do that under the radar, because that could be subversive in China. You know, it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Like, just, you know, if women are interested in science, let them in. Like, why not?
Exactly. It seems like such an easy fix, but it seems like a lot of people seem to overthink it. They're like, hey, why isn't there more women in this? But they take it to a whole other level, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that, like, look, if women were interested, they would be interested. They would be pursuing it. If they're not interested, it's not my fault as a man. Don't blame
absolutely
me.
It's not.
Don't blame me. I'm not doing, hey, this is the He-Man Woman Haters Club. No, it's like, I'm not gonna force you to like fucking create the next generation of Xbox for me.
Yeah.
If you want to do something else with your life, that's on you. That's not on me. Like, I mean,
absolutely.
You know, I mean, when you know, when I get my godniece, you know, I'll take it to a science, one of the science museums here in New York, and you know, see if she got the knack. Like, she wants to, you know, mess around with like electricity and stuff.
Yeah. All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I'll just badger her like, was that fun? You want to build some stuff? Want to build some stuff? What do you mean you don't want to? What do you mean you want to go to Build-A-Bear? No, we're gonna get these here Legos, and you're gonna build something.
Yeah.
Don't fight me. Don't fight me. You're gonna learn. You're gonna play with Legos. Damn it. You're not gonna do that frou-frou girl shit. No, let me stop.
You're good.
But anyways, with Antifa, what kind of people do they mostly try? Do they do recruit?
They do, but you have to ask yourself to get in.
So they don't go out there searching.
You got to know somebody, but you also got to ask to get in.
So is this like the Freemasons? You gotta. Is this like being a Freemason or trying to join Judaism? You gotta ask like 3 times.
It's pretty fucking similar. I'm gonna be honest there.
Oh wow, okay.
It's pretty fucking. It's whole secret society bullshit. Yeah, you got to know somebody in it, but you got to ask on your own. Then you got to wait like 6 months or some fucking ridiculous long time, and then they'll get back to you, and then you will go for the interview, and then it's just like, oh my god.
And then all you had to do was talk to Edie, realize, wait a minute, we're all cool, and then it's like, come hang out with us.
Yeah,
all in the same day.
Yeah, dude, they were literally not what I was expecting at all, and I'm just like, wow, these are pretty cool fucking people. Why were we fighting them? I was so confused. I met up with an Antifa member afterwards who was like, hey, so you were getting in good with them, right? And I was like, yeah, no, they were pretty cool. I don't know what to say about that. And then he's like, you should go back on Monday and try to get info out of them. I was like, why? And he's like, you should dox them. And I was like, whoa. Whoa.
All right. Let me, like, because there's this one guy over there who, if I ever get the chance, I want to beat the living shit out of. Do you know Luis Marquez?
I have heard the name more times than ever, but I don't know him personally. I've heard the name many times, though.
Oh, you've never seen it? Never seen him?
No, but I've seen his face on the videos only afterwards, but I've heard the name from both the right and the left.
Yeah, he likes to spit on people.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I swear to God, if I ever see that cocksucker, excuse me. If I ever see him, it's gonna be mutual combat. Like, I challenge.
What I know about Luis is that he has some pull in the Portland area for sure. I don't know why he does. He seems like a douchebag, but that's just me.
Like, but like, what kind of pull is he? Is he like the Antifa Jesus?
What have I heard about him? Yeah, I've heard him spoken on the right. They fucking hate him, and then people on the left seem to follow him around. That's what it seems like. He seems to post shit every now and then, and everybody will just click on to it and be like, whoa, that's so crazy and cool and shit. I think he's a big wig in RCA, personally. But
what's
RCA?
Sure.
Yeah.
What is RCA?
Oh, Rose City Antifa.
Road City Antifa. Okay.
Rose City.
Rose City.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Portland?
Oh, okay. It's like a neighborhood in Portland.
Yeah, that's the big one with. That's the biggest one in Portland with the most pull. That's the one that's very organized. They have the direct action black bloc. Seriously, that shit is almost my too far limit right there. They have people organizing to fight. Yeah.
So what would you think? What you think would be the best way to like dismantle them?
Personally, get the police in on this shit because that's what it's gonna take. Like seriously, there needs to be some kind of crackdown on this because it's been going on for far too long. Too many innocent people have gotten hurt and too much property has been destroyed. I think honestly, the police need to recognize this for what this is and finally go after it. Because if the right was doing this, we both know that the police would be all over it and the government would be freaking out and politicians would be crying and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the left, so everybody seems to just ignore it.
It just seems like Portland is just a weird place that, like, nothing is working over there. Yet they continue the same bullshit. It's like, okay, you're gonna, I mean, I already see it's like gonna end up fucking itself to the point that it looks like Detroit.
Dude, yeah, these factions, everybody that I know was part of one or the other. And it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Or not everyone I know, I'm not going to say everyone, but a lot of people that I know, like outside of all this, that I've known for years, were either with one or the other of these factions.
Do you know of any politicians that were are closely affiliated with Black Bloc or Antifa?
Personally, I believe Mayor Ted Wheeler is.
But aren't they protesting Ted Wheeler?
No, they're not. They told me that they would, but they didn't. They never did. They instead went and counter-protested the PDX crew for protesting Ted Wheeler.
So who were the Antifa guys that were standing with Edie and them?
That was me.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, so do you still consider yourself Antifa?
No, God, no. That was before our falling out. That picture was taken.
Yeah, you looked at that dude like I'm surprised you didn't slug him one just for that one.
I was about to. Honestly, that pissed me off. And the next day, on the following Monday, he tried to use the, hey, okay, you know that argument where if you're a white dude, but you say the N-word, you're like, oh, it's okay, I have a black friend? He tried to pull that shit about me being trans and shit, so it was okay for him to throw that at fucking Edie. He acted like we'd been friends for years. I just met him that day.
Oh, he tried to get you to co-sign his bullshit, pretty much.
Exactly, because he was trying to save his own ass. And the whole day, he was freaking out about whoever put up that video should take it down and shit. And it's just, he's losing his mind. He's fucking crazy.
I mean, I have a Jewish best friend, and like, I came out in his wedding. You know, I met his new baby daughter last summer. Mm-hmm. You don't see me throwing out the K word because some Jew pissed me off.
No, for sure. Dude, I was told so many lies about this group. Like, specifically, it's fucking crazy. I just call them PDX crew, I guess. The right-wing protesters that were down there that day.
Oh, man.
I was told they were anti-Semitic, that they were racist, that they were transphobic, and they were homophobic. Funny enough, there's a gay dude in their group. There's a trans woman in their group. There's people of multiple races in that group, and they even have a Jewish member. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on here?
I know, we got, like, here in New York, we got mad Jews in our crew.
Yeah.
We got, and like, especially in that fight in New York, you see that picture, and we're browner than them.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's like we're white supremacists, and it's like you got a black dude, you got an Asian dude, you got various levels of brown in that group, and then you take a picture of Antifa, and it's all a bunch of lily white kids. It's like,
dude, I'm gonna say this: like 19 out of 20 of them are little white people. 19 out of 20 of them are little white people that are just narcissistic and trying to feel important in a mass.
And then yet they feel justified in, like, I mean, what was the word, like, because I mean, I had Tiny on the show. Have you met Tiny yet?
I'm gonna say this: I've been near Tiny, but I've never met him yet, or I haven't met him yet.
I've had him on the show, and we both discussed how, you know, the left is more honestly, the only time I've ever been called a spick or a nigger was from someone from the left. Yeah,
that is absolutely right. I'm serious. I've heard nothing transphobic from the right-wing people I've met so far. Versus the left, all I would hear was transphobic things, and then they're like, hey, it might be bad over here, but it's even worse over there. That's bullshit. That was seriously bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
it's absolutely insane.
Would you get personally offended if like someone, like a guy says, like, look, I wouldn't date a trans person?
You know what? That's fine. That's on them. I'm like, hey, you know what? If you don't want to date me, I probably wouldn't date you anyway.
But
and that's fine.
Do you think that that's transphobic?
I've heard the argument that it is, but I just don't think it is. There's a lot of, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm trying to see how to dance around this one here.
Yeah. No, just come right out and say it, because, you know, like, look, I'm not gonna lie. Like, my preferences are, you know, you have to be born a woman.
That's fine. That's on you, dude.
That's just, yeah. I mean,
but I'm not gonna. You know what? I get it. Okay.
I'm not gonna go around.
Who would?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go around like beating up trans people, because it's like, first of all, I have no the desire nor the time to put in to dedicate. Oh, let's go be like. First of all, it like the way I see it, if being gay or being trans is a sin against God, I'm pretty sure the man upstairs could take care of it himself. He doesn't need my dumb ass to be smiting people in his name.
Yeah, to be the judge, jury, and executioner, like Antifa's doing.
Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, well, you know, you're not hurting anybody. You're not diddling little kids. Then you know what you do with your life is your life. I'm not gonna freaking stand outside your funeral being like, God hates fags. God hates fags. Like, no one got time for that shit. I'm trying to get laid.
Yeah, totally. And that's your that's your prerogative.
Like,
you know?
my thing is, if I could freaking shame a hot chick into fucking a fat dude, it's like, hey, you don't want to date me because I'm fat? That's fat phobic. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, if I could, I mean, but that doesn't work for me. I mean, I don't see how come it works for everyone else, but it doesn't. Oh, if you don't want to date me, you're transphobic. If you don't want to date a fat chick, you're fat phobic. You don't want to date a fat guy. Well, maybe he should stop eating at McDonald's. God damn it!
Right? I know. It's absolutely ridiculous, this double standard. Whereas people on the left have some of the strangest standards I have ever met in regards to that. Even though they say, oh, yeah, all these things you don't have to meet, but then in other areas, that's where it comes off on. And it's all mental shit or fucking money shit, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a quick break because I gotta use the bathroom real quick. So,
hey, me too.
Okay. So I'm going to play this song by Someday Static called Ever Again, and we'll be right back to finish off the show. This is the Crouch Out Radio Show. We'll be right back after this.
Closer to you.
That was Sunday Static with their song Ever Again on the Crotch Out Radio Show. We are right back. I'm Louis B. I'm with my guest, Alyssa Bang. We've been talking about her experience with Antifa. You know, I'm trying to get some understanding about the group and their tactics in Portland. And we revealed a lot of stuff. And Alyssa, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I feel a lot better now that I, relieved myself. I, took a little hit of some medicine so that way I could not cough in your ear.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
So, oh man, goodness, it gets. How cold does it get in Portland?
It gets pretty cold. If it's not raining, it's usually freezing. Or it'll be warm once in a blue moon, but...
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Even during the summer months?
Yeah, it's usually, if it's warm, it's not, like, super hot. Maybe it'll get to, like, 90 every now and then, but...
All right. Yeah, in New York, it fucking drops, like, -8 because of the wind chill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotcha. That's pretty cool.
It snows over here.
Oh, that's awesome. We haven't gotten snow here in Portland for a while.
Like, we got shitted on at the beginning of fucking fall. And that's how.
Oh, wow.
And that's how we describe snow here in New York City. It's like, yo, we straight got shitted on right now.
That's funny.
We don't fucking appreciate the snow, like, not one bit, because it makes everything fucking miserable. Like,
oh yeah, no, I can imagine.
It's only cute one day a year, like if you don't have to go to work. But if you got to go to work and then it's snowing out there, it's like
cars just dragging on the ground, like when you're trying to brake and shit.
No, it's not that bad because we actually know how to fucking drive.
Oh, gotcha. When I was in Kentucky, when I was in the Army, oh my gosh, when my first winter, my car was dragging on the road when I was trying to brake. I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like over here, like, they... Goodness. So anyways, where were we? Okay, I already asked that question. Oh shit, I'm out of questions. So what are your plans for the future now? I mean, do you see yourself staying political?
What was that last part?
Do you see yourself staying political, like involved?
Yes, I would say so. I've always had a passion for history since I was a child, and with that history is politics. Or it was, I would say the military, but I don't think I'm going back there anytime soon. So.
Right. I mean, do you get VA benefits?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, so okay. Oh, I guess
that's how I get by.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. So, I mean, do you with this change, like, are you considering, joining the right now, joining the dark side?
I'm not sure if they 100% trust me, but if they would have me, I totally would. Because they seem, honestly, like more genuine people. Right. People in Antifa would stab each other in the back if it saved their own asses. And to a certain degree, I think I did that myself even a little bit and proved that mindset.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, yeah. There's always redemption. I mean, you start making some better choices and... people are entitled to make mistakes. It's just it's the left that doesn't allow for forgiveness.
It's true. That's one thing that actually, now that you mentioned that, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. We always hear that, or on the left, and say that people change. Like, for instance, back in the 90s, Hillary Clinton was against gay marriage. She thought marriage was between a man. In 2016...
Oh, you're cutting in and out.
I guess I'm supposed to be okay.
You cut in and out really bad.
I am? Sorry about
you
that.
said the last thing I heard was Hillary Clinton after 2016 said.
Oh, Hillary Clinton then in 2016 though was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm all for gay marriage. That's awesome." And it's like we were I was sketched out by that, but a lot of other people on the left were just all for it, even though they're saying, hey, but then when it came to the right, they were very much just blamed generally, is what it seemed like, if that makes any sense. They generalized everybody on the right, saying differently. Hillary Clinton changed, but they can't change, so the best way to change them is punching them in the face.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing, the thing I've noticed, like, after a while, like, because, you know, I would ask, yo, how long are we gonna put up with them punching us in the face and not fighting back? Mm-hmm. And now that we're fighting back, finally, now it's a fucking problem.
I know. Yeah, everybody's now focusing on the right, being like, oh, white supremacists are fighting against, or what are they saying? Agitating the left or something? Some bullshit like that. It's not true. It's outright not true. The people on the right are just defending themselves. I've seen that now firsthand, and it's messed up. The people on the left are literally the real provocateurs here. Or the far left. I'm not going to say the left because I don't want to generalize like the left seems to generalize about the right, but
all right.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems to be it though. Yeah, the Antifa likes to. That's also something. Yeah, too. If you're right wing, flat out, it doesn't matter what your ideology is. You're Nazi. Even though if you're left, you could be a liberal, you could be a fucking socialist, you could be a communist, an anarchist, whatever. Everybody's like, oh, well, we all have our differences and see different, but, you know, we can all work together. They generalize the right, like, so fucking much, and it's insanity. They just think they're all Nazis.
That just sounds like that's just laziness, like purely.
It
like,
is.
Look, I mean, the alt right, which they're not really on the right. Because they want like government services, but only for white people. Like that would be like the Richard Spencers and those people right there. Those are the ones that would call me a spick too. But you know, they're for leftist like liberal social programs.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's interesting. Yeah. That's something that they just ignore outright. They just say, "Oh, well, these are Nazis." They want fascism. That's what it is.
Yeah, but you know, Richard Spencer don't like people like me. They don't like people like the Proud Boys because you know, hey, we of course we got Jews, we got blacks, we got browns, we got everybody, we got every ching.
It's true. Proud Boys is actually a lot more diverse than I ever thought it was. It's apparently they're a hate group or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of true. We are a hate group. We hate stupidity. We hate getting punched in the face for no fucking reason. I hate that shit with a passion.
Absolutely, yeah. And something else really interesting, too, is that a lot of people I noticed in Antifa would say, oh, well, for instance, the Proud Boys is a hate group. They're evil and all this other stuff. But the Antifa they're supporting is classified as a domestic terrorist organization, isn't it? I mean, they just ignore it just outright. They're just like, oh, that's fine, whatever. Or if you call it that, they're like, we're not friends anymore because we're fucking 5.
I mean, does Antifa at least, they're like, oh, we support people, we try to help people. Do they do any, like, community outreach programs? Do they try to feed the homeless?
Yes, but they do it through their above, what's the best way to put this? There's the organizations that go out and help people, and then there's the, I almost want to call it the same thing as when somebody, when your fucking average student at at a university decides to go and throw on Black Bloc and go out there and fight. That's basically the difference, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. They have organizations that go out and help people and do daily work and shit and, you know, advocate for people and all that. But then when it comes to being Antifa, those same people then go and dress up, and I'm pretty sure they're the same organizations. Like the Democratic Socialists of America, that's one. I know for certain that does that.
So the Democrat Socialists of America, they could possibly be the ones that actually fund this shit.
I really do believe that they're at least the big one because holy shit, dude! Everybody I know nowadays is almost a DSA. I didn't like them. I don't know. I went to a couple meetings. I didn't like the DSA, honestly. I don't know. It seemed like a bunch of Bernie bros, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people on the left, too, they seem to blame Trump for dividing this country, but I really feel like it goes before that. I really think it came down to Bernie Sanders as the first one to divide this country.
Well,
he divided the left.
I mean, I would say more Hillary because, I mean, Bernie was going to kick Hillary's ass in the primaries, and, you know, my godsister was a delegate for Bernie in L.A.,
yeah,
and when they went to the Democratic convention in Philly, a lot of those Bernie supporters that were going to vote for him got their asses kicked by racist Hillary supporters.
Oh, I know they did. That is exactly what happened. But what happened then after the election, when Hillary lost, was that the people who supported Bernie at that point, it seemed like the people who supported Hillary are your classic liberals, whereas the more socialist. Some left-wing people who voted for Hillary, instead, who were going to support Bernie, though, seem to go in a different direction. And it seems they're the ones who all went to the DSA and support socialist ideas now. Our Revolution, Bernie Sanders group, too, they love to donate that shit. And it's, God, yeah, I remember when that happened. Everybody I know either split into one of the two, who was left-wing anyways. You were either return it, or you either wanted to keep supporting the Democratic Party as it was, and keep supporting classical liberalism or neoliberalism, whatever the fuck they use. And then there's the more people who consider themselves progressive. They're more socialists or communists or anarchists. They're the ones who wanted to support Bernie, but they split off into their own camp and have really made up this Antifa thing. I feel like a lot of the Antifa members I met were Bernie supporters. They just love that idea of free shit, free college, free healthcare, free everything, homes, food, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, then what's the point in fucking working? You know, you could just...
Absolutely none. You work if you want to. The idea is that there doesn't need to be incentive besides working in order to be proud of your work or something, if that makes any sense.
But then if you do work and you do earn an income, you get taxed to shit, so that someone else could be lazy at home, you know.
You get it. You get the reality of it. A lot of them don't. A lot of them follow the ideal that goes with this.
You know, but well, you know, the thing is, you know, a lot of, because I do stand-up comedy here in New York, you know. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them, you know, they all want to be famous. They all want to get that multi-million-dollar deal for that Netflix special.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But they all still want that free shit. They want that free shit. I'm like, you know, if you make it big, you're gonna be taxed so far up the ass.
Yeah,
you're not gonna have anything.
Absolutely, and it's yeah, I know. They don't seem to realize that's how it really works. The ultimate goal is communism, where it's a moneyless society. So you just do basically what I was saying. The idea that you just work to make yourself happy. That's basically it.
Yeah, but then,
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, let me tell you the truth. If I gotta if I'm gonna have to work, if I'm gonna work hard and not keep any of my labor, like, I just won't do shit.
Yeah, you would rather sit around, and that's what socialism will inevitably end up at. We all got to realize that that's really what's going to happen. If we all go to a socialist society, everyone at first will probably be like, yeah, we'll work, but after a while they're going to be disillusioned with it. They're going to give up, and then they're just going to say, fuck it, somebody else will do it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be someone that needs to dig the ditches. I mean, I guess that's why they want to have the borders open.
Yeah.
You know, they want to just let people, you know, pour right in. Which is not,
yeah.
You know, I mean, what, like, well, let me go back to this. I mean, what truth was it when Edie said that they were screaming, you know, calling people spigs, that they hate Jews?
Yeah, they did that.
They did that?
They did that.
Like, in what context? Like, why were they doing that?
Antifa?
Yeah. Yes.
But you were saying that they themselves hated those groups, or that the right-wing group hated those groups?
That they themselves, that Antifa hates, like, they were calling people, like, I know in Philadelphia there was a Proud Boy rally, and they, Antifa jumped these, like, Marines, these Marines, and they maced them, and they were calling them spics while beating them up.
That sounds accurate. Yeah, that's okay. That's what you're talking about. Those two incidents. Yeah. Specifically, I wasn't there for when Edie said that they hated Jews, but here's the idea behind that. Antifa is very much filled with people who are atheists or anti-religion. Mm-hmm. They consider themselves not part of really any religion, a lot of these members. So they look down on those who are religious to a certain degree. Whether they believe it or not, I'm probably going to get told I'm full of shit on this one, but I am dead serious. Mm-hmm. It seems that many of that's what comes with communism and anarchism, though, if you really look at it, being an atheist. Yeah. A lot of them look down on religion. So in that context, I believe that that's why they were saying what they did on that video to the PDX crew. Whereas to those Marines, they were yelling, they were calling them, I don't want to say that word, but yeah. It's absolutely messed up, though, that they did that. And that sounds also like something Antifa would do. They're so fucking hypocritical, like, literally. It's disgusting. Like, the hypocrisy is still making me mad. Like, even just thinking about it. I want to go back and beat up some Antifa now.
Well, hey, I mean, I
don't mean it literally. I'm just saying. I'm just like, oh my God. It's like, it gets me fired up now.
Yeah. I mean, it really sounds like you which is why I asked you earlier, do you want revenge against Antifa for, like, lying to you? Because it really sounds like it's like, and like, you have such a similar story to Tiny, because Tiny was almost Antifa himself until he started talking to the guys over there, and he realized, oh, wait a minute. They're good people, and he started standing with the Proud Boys over there. In fact, when he was in New York, I was actually part of the whole ritual of getting him initiated into the Proud Boys.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm still figuring out exactly what the Proud Boys are.
Basically, it's a fraternal order, basically akin to, like, the Knights of Columbus. It's like it started off as a joke.
Yeah.
It started off as a joke by Gavin McGinnis, because basically there were no men's clubs anymore where men could just go and drink away from the family and stuff, and have a male discussion. Yeah,
a place where you can belong. I totally understand.
Yeah. The tenets of the Proud Boys are, you do man shit. You take care of your family. Your housewife is your best friend. You venerate the entrepreneur. You work hard. Me, I'm working on not being fat anymore. It's like, it's.
And that's awesome.
You don't apologize for being a man.
Yeah, you are who you are, and you should be proud of who you are, no matter what. If the left seems to push this, for instance, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked there for a second.
Okay, Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Speak. You'll speak freely.
When I was raised, I'm an enrolled Native, so when I was raised, I was told by my mother that we were proud to be Native. Or that you should be definitely proud to be Native.
Okay.
But I don't understand that was okay. Like, when I moved to the Portland area from where I grew up at, when I was in middle school, I think. Yeah, it was middle school. I was, it was weird. I didn't understand how everybody just applauded you when you said, oh, well, I'm proud to be Native. And everybody was like, that's awesome. But if you're proud to be anything else, though, it's strange. Like, if you're proud of being who you are, like, say, a straight, cis, white male or whatever the fuck you are, it's like, there's certain degrees where people will be like, whoa, that's too far. You shouldn't be proud of that. Doesn't make any sense to me. it's strange. I don't understand why it's okay to be proud of some shit, but then those same people who are proud of being who they are can go and tell other people, hey, you can't be proud of who you are. Yeah. It's weird. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm proud to be a Puerto Rican. I mean, and that's more specifically because of the struggle we had to put up with. Culturally we're a nation, but legally we're not. We are I don't know if you've been around Puerto Ricans. I don't know if you've ever been to like any Puerto Rican pride festivals or whatnot. I
served with a couple Puerto Rican soldiers.
How was that with them?
They were just like any other American. I thought they were great.
Did they feed you penne?
No, nothing like that.
No, they didn't feed you any roast pork. They didn't try to get you in on the culture. No.
No, I think I had roast pork a couple times from them, but that's probably it.
Well, yeah, that's penne.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Or how you Americans say pernil.
Pernil. Ooh.
Pernil.
But yeah, no, that's definitely cool, though. I didn't realize that that's how the Proud Boys were. Again, I was told nothing about the Proud Boys except that they're an evil white supremacist organization. So it's actually just cool to hear how it really is. It sounds like a barracks party from when I was in the Army. That's what it sounds like now.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
It
sounds like a real family for sure.
Like we try to be. I mean, I had the chairman, the new chairman of the Proud Boys, on a couple weeks ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's it is what it is. But,
yeah, no, definitely, and that's as long as you're proud to be part of it, I think you should be proud.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, we accept everyone. All you got to do is be male, born male. So if you want to join the Proud Boys, you can.
I guess that is always an option.
But we got gay cats in the crew. I mean, it's like, in fact, in the New York crew, we have a trap in the crew. Emily.
Oh wow,
she's a Proud Boy.
That's pretty fucking cool to know. I didn't know any of that. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was and in fact they were making fun of her. Because she had like the Kekistan battle flag, which is carried tongue in cheek. Yeah,
the green one. Yeah, the green K one or whatever. I've seen it around.
Yeah, Kekistan with the frog.
Yeah.
Praise Kek.
That's right.
Praise Kek. He blesses the Egyptian god of chaos. We praise him. He is the father of mean magic.
That's funny. That's true. No, I mean, damn Pepe.
Pepe. Yes. He is not a white supremacist, but he is there to infuriate those who are very easily infuriated. He is the shit poster. He's the guy that's shit posting.
I remember how everybody used to share Pepe shit until like 2016, 2017, and then everybody's like, "Oh, it's a white supremacist symbol." I was like, "Wait, what? That's when? What?"
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
And then we play Chatelet. Chatelet. So, and then I like to go around saying I'm half Kekistani, I'm Puerto Rican and Kekistani. Like, what's Kekistani?
That's awesome.
Because I like to ship.
And it sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. Because honestly, it's like all these like the left has like created all these new taboos that are just silly. Mm-hmm. They're just silly, and they make up new rules all the time. And it's like, first of all, like, I'm gonna make mistakes. I respect your pronouns. I'm not gonna, but I might, if I see you in person, I might make the mistake.
And that's fine. At least you're not fucking going around like being like, hey, what's your dude name after I say what my name is? I'm like, whoa. Yeah. As long as you don't do that, you're good.
Look, you want to be called Bippo? I'll be like, okay, Bippo. Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
That's awesome.
I don't give.
You know, what's funny is I have only ever been accused of fucking. Okay, so I'm Native, and I've been accused of cultural appropriation for doing Native shit. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? By white people. By fucking lefty white people. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah. What happened? You were trying to pass the peace pipe, and you're like, no, this is just regular-ass weed. Calm the fuck down, racist.
No, dude, I went to a powwow. A year back, and I was told by some fucking lefty, you could tell because this little bitch had glasses on and shit, and just, gave off the left vibe, you know what I mean? And was like, hey, you shouldn't be here. You're appropriating our culture. I'm like, dude, your fucking culture? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you serious? Chick, like, I bet she's 1/16 Cherokee. I bet that's exactly what it was.
Well, if you mind me asking, what is your Cherokee designation number?
I'm not Cherokee. I'm Northern Cheyenne.
Oh, okay. What's your ratio?
I'm 1/4. I'm 1/4 Northern Cheyenne, and then I'm 1/8 Mandana Rickeraw.
Okay, I don't know what that is. All I know is I am 1/2 Smackahoe Indian.
That's fucking cool.
That old joke.
I'll say this though, dude. I was raised out on the res. I'm more native than all these fucking natives that grow up in the city.
You're obviously more native than Elizabeth Warren.
Oh my god, that was a whole thing that happened the other day. I posted something about Elizabeth Warren because she pisses me off. She is far less native than I am, and she releases some fucking powwow cookbook, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I posted that on Facebook. I was like, hey, guy, this is fucked up. I was told I was being a racist. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
How?
I know. Oh, I know. I could not fucking believe I was being accused of being racist against natives for saying Elizabeth Warren is not native. I'm way more native than she is. It was fucking ridiculous. I just laughed it off. I was like, oh my god. I had a couple people unfriend me over that too. I was like, are you fucking serious? I hope her campaign fails, by the way. I don't like Elizabeth Warren.
No, it will. Because, I mean, usually what happens is, they're not gonna learn because they'll, all they have are these, ridiculous people. Mm-hmm. And people will see, oh, you're an idiot. Like that last bitch.
Yeah, it's the same shit, different candidate.
Yeah. But it's
they're not really open-minded. They just pretend to be open-minded to get votes. Even Bernie, I'm pretty sure, is the same fucking way.
And he's from Brooklyn, too, so I'm kind of fucking ashamed.
Oh, my God, I didn't know that.
You're not really good at accents, aren't you?
What's that?
You're not good at listening for accents, huh?
Accents?
Yeah.
That's definitely not with Bernie.
That's a Brooklyn fucking accent.
I served with a couple soldiers who had Brooklyn accents. I thought I got it, but I guess I wasn't with... Oh, my God, it is. Now that I think about it, that is a Brooklyn accent.
That's a Brooklyn accent. That motherfucker
Holy shit.
That motherfucker from Midwood. Son of a bitch.
That's cool. Or I guess not so much cool as much as what the fuck. I would have thought Vermont or some weird little shit.
Nah, he's a fucking carpetbagger.
Wow. Well, how about that?
Yeah, nah, he's a Jewish kid from Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that one. Oh, man.
In fact, hold on. Bernie Sanders, Brooklyn accent. Let me see if I can find the... Oh, Bernie Sanders accent explained from Vox.
Oh, shit.
Let me see. There we go.
Oh my God, Vox is another one that, like...
Billionaires and billionaires!
That his voice represents another place entirely. And another time.
New York City.
Where the world's nations sit side by side.
Sanders grew up in Brooklyn in the 1940s and 50s. The city had long ago developed a distinctive accent. Surprisingly, its features can be traced back to the early English settlers, rather than the big waves of immigration that came later.
The most famous feature of the New York City accent is probably what linguists call the thought vowel. And I just said it in a very New York way.
Talk the issues to the people.
And second of all,
there is a broad consensus.
When Bernie Sanders says these words, the position of the vowel is raised. So what does that mean? For me, it was helpful to look at this chart of vowel sounds. It's shaped like this.
All right, fuck all that shit.
I know, that was a lot, but yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
No, forget about it. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to talk in my Brooklyn accent.
You're good.
Oh, like I said, every time we start talking about the accent, it comes out thicker for some fucking reason.
Yeah, no, totally. You know, actually, now that I think about it, though, have you seen the Steven Crowder video, the infiltrating Antifa video?
Yes, I did.
Antifa is literally pretty much the same fucking thing as that video. Like, seriously, that's the same way they are, same mentality, same almost everything.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they could be easily get their asses kicked. Like, I don't understand how they're still a thing when, like, if we were everything they said that we were, they wouldn't exist.
Oh, I know. No, it's a mob mentality. They just tell themselves at night that you guys are coming after them, so they all group up and then are like, hey, let's do this shit.
Yeah, and then they cry. Then they cry when like people like Tiny turn around and just boo bop them.
I know, they say fuck the police until they get hit, and then they're like, police, help! It's pathetic. It was literally, I saw that a couple times. I thought it was fucking pathetic.
Like that.
You guys are revolutionaries. No, you're full of shit. You guys aren't doing anything. You're shooting silly string at people, and then talking about having guns. You're like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like this is your revolution. Okay.
Yeah, no, because if they really were, and I'm not trying to talk tough, but if they really wanted to like get shit popping, they wouldn't last the fucking day. I mean,
oh, I know. They know that too. In July, last July they had firearms training. I know that one for certain. But,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So last July they had firearms training.
I wasn't invited to it, but I did. Or I mean, I was invited to it, but I didn't go. But I did see the pictures.
Well, you know how to shoot already.
Yeah, they do. Oh yeah, I mean, I know how to shoot too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I was in the Army. I've seen this shit. It's pretty organized. It's a lot more organized. I think people give them credit for it, but it's also really pathetic at the same time.
Alrighty, so I mean, I think we've gone through enough. Okay. I mean, if you yeah, because we're like officially going overdrive, but anything else you wanna bring up about Antifa before we say goodbye?
What else? I don't know, Antifa's a bunch of liars and hypocrites, and I think everybody's been brainwashed by a mob mentality, and they should just stop and actually think about it.
Well,
I did, and I realized I was wrong. I think everybody else should stop and do that too, finally, because this is insanity, and it needs to stop.
Alrighty then.
That's my thought.
Okay. Well, Alyssa, thank you for coming on. Like I said last week, you are always welcome to come on anytime you want. If there's anything else you want to talk about, let me know, and we'll set it right up. Well,
for sure, anytime. I'd be happy to, honestly.
Yeah, what's this wee shit? I'll set it up for you. But yeah.
And if Tiny, you ever want to talk, I'm always free. That sounds cool.
All right, then. There you go. In fact, now that you mentioned Tiny, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Portland crew over there. You guys are solid dudes. Keep up the good work. And Uhuru.
Oh, yeah, shout out to the Portland crew, for sure.
Yep. All right.
Y'all are good guys.
Alyssa, thanks for coming on. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Please smash that like button however you're listening. Like, comment, share. and subscribe. We are on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. We are on let's see. We are on TuneIn Radio, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Podcast.com, Podbean, Winamp, of course YouTube, Podcast Addict, Player FM, Stitcher, Spotify, Mixcloud, Alexa, and we're on Radio Public, and Blueberry, and RSS Radio. So many places for you to listen to past episodes. And again, thank you for listening. This has been the Crotch Out Radio Show, and as always, from my house to your house. Mahalo.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
Help the Crotch Out Radio Show grow and thrive by doing something you already do. Shop on Amazon. Amazon always has great deals for whatever you are looking for. From survivalists and riot gear to beanie babies. Next time you're going to shop at Amazon, use my link. The prices stay the same, but I get credit for the sale. Just go to tinyurl.com/LouisB and just shop normally, knowing that you're helping support the Crotch Out Radio Show. That's tinyurl.com/LouisB.